Another jam from the miracle maker, wizard of the word, MC Undertaker. Another jam from the miracle maker, wizard of the word, MC Undertaker. Another jam from the miracle maker, wizard of the word, MC Undertaker. Another jam from the miracle maker, wizard of the word, MC Undertaker. Another jam from the miracle maker, wizard of the word, MC Undertaker. Another jam from the miracle maker, wizard of the word, MC Undertaker. Another jam from the miracle maker, wizard of the word, MC Undertaker. Another jam from the
第4届怀化市旅游发展大会暨 LP 球杆乔氏杯2025中式八球大师赛芷江站半决赛抽签仪式现在开始，请念到名字的选手到 TV 台抽签。牛壮、30-1，李岩、29-2，赵建波、29-1，何文冲、30-2。抽签仪式到此结束，稍后公布运动员的比赛场地。
感谢裁判团队主持抽签仪式，稍后将公布运动员比赛场地。
现在公布一下运动员的比赛场地 ：TV 1号台牛壮、何文冲 ；TV 2号台赵建波、李岩。请运动员尽快进入比赛场地检录。
feet are stumping, and the jam is bumping. Look ahead, the crowd is jumping. Bump it up a little more, get the party going on the dance floor. See, 'cause that's where the party's at, and you'll find out if you do that. A place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. A place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. 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 Yo. Make my day. 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 Bump up the jam, bump it up while your feet are stumping, and the jam is bumping. Look ahead, the crowd is jumping. Bump it up a little more, get the party going on the dance floor.
我们总在找寻打破隔阂的方式，用奔跑，用拥抱，用专注的样子，直到绿色台面摊开向和平宪章，细长的我们总在等待拆去藩篱的时刻，用眼神，用默契，用并肩的炽热，直到木球碰撞，像敲碎冰封的河，所有的语言都化作同频的脉搏，东海的潮声撞向西海岸的浪，石榴才把地图内外连成网，年轻人俯身把未来倾推向远方，边界的阻挡变作隔岸的眺望，钟把转动，世界球童，快乐尽情生长，从巷口球房到洲际赛场，期待掌声同响，钟把转动，世界球童，激情正在绽放，心连着心，光连着光，一同汇入欢乐的海洋。钟把转动，世界球童，快乐尽情生长，从巷口球房到洲际赛场，期待掌声同响。钟把转动，世界球童，激情正在绽放，心连着心，光连着光，一同汇入欢乐的海洋，汇入欢乐的海洋。
from folk game to Olympic stage, the glory and aspiration of Heyball. How can a grassroots sport become an Olympic discipline? This seemingly fantastical question is being answered by Heyball's pioneers with courage and perseverance. What is Heyball? Blending the essence of snooker and American pool, Heyball thrives on more open rules, intense competition, accessibility, and fun. It has evolved into a sport for all ages and a stage for countless individuals to change their lives. Born in China, it now belongs to the world. In the 1980s, Chinese innovators crafted an imagined American pool table using carom dimensions and snooker structure. Without formal references, this serendipitous creation birthed Heyball. Yet, its humble origins led to labels like Hooligan's Game, leaving it sidelined and neglected. In 2006, Joy Billiards, hearing the cries of 8-ball players, ignited hope with a ranking event offering an 8,000 RMB prize. The spark ignited the hope of the sport. In 2012, Joy utilized the prestige of the king of the crucible, Stephen Hendry, to break into CCTV, elevating Heyball to mainstream acclaim. The roar of applause shattered stereotypes, propelling Heyball to dominance across China. In 2016, Heyball stepped onto the global stage as a cultural ambassador with overseas tournaments spanning 32 countries and regions. In 2019, athletes from 64 nations gathered in Qinhuangdao, China, delivering a world-class spectacle. In 2022, the WCBS officially recognized Heyball as a discipline in the inaugural WCBS Championship. In 2023, the champion prize of the Masters soared past $5 million, making it the highest-paying billiards event globally. Prizes can be counted, dreams are immeasurable. In 2024, we sprint toward the Olympics. 9 global events unite athletes from 100 nations. Partnership with the ANOC promotes Heyball across 206 countries and regions, organizing the first Parasport World Championship in Los Angeles and Junior World Championship in India. Heyball's inclusivity embodies the Olympic spirit. In 2025, Joy promote Heyball into the Chengdu World Games, edging closer to the Olympics. A memorandum with the ACBS paves its path to the 2030 Asian Games. 27 years ago, we revolutionized table manufacturing with innovation. 19 years ago, we pioneered Heyball's tournament-driven growth. Today, we are leading the development concept of billiards with the slogan of Heyball's inclusion into the Olympics, always staying at the forefront of the times. Olympism celebrates togetherness. Heyball's uniting the world echoes this spirit. From Chinese streets to global arenas, the Black Eight's journey, never linear, but always ascending. Cross-cultural differences engage in equal dialogue using the language Heyball and unite the world. This Black Eight will roll onto the Olympic stage, into the heart of world billiards. This dream, we will realize together, and we will make it happen.
中巴转动世界球童，女士们、先生们，这里是第4届怀化市旅游发展大会暨 LP 球杆乔氏杯2025中式8球大师赛 之江甲级半决赛的现场，让我们准备好掌声，欢迎运动员。首先欢迎飓风小子何文冲。现在，让我们用热情欢迎绰号“牛魔王”，来自中国的牛壮。中巴转动世界球童，我们共同在芷江期待精彩比赛。接下来将为各位介绍本场比赛裁判团队。本场比赛将由来自中国的何文冲对阵来自中国的牛壮，主裁判杨嘉玲，助理裁判张梦蝶、王琦。题外2号台将由赵建波对阵李岩，主裁判耿思林，助理裁判李雅帆。精彩比赛即将开始，让我们共同期待。
刘壮你好，何文冲你好，请双方选手争夺开球选择权，听我口令，预备，3、2、1，开始。何文冲获得开球选择权。
Good day, everyone, and welcome back. And there you have it, semi-final of the Zhijiang Station Division 1 Tour here in China, presented by Joy Billiards, part of the Joy Billiards Masters events. Semi-final, Niu Zhang against He Wenchong. Now, Niu Zhang, winner of the Grandmasters finals earlier this year. He Wenchong, top 8 in the Tianjin Station and always making top 32 finishes. I think so far this is one of his best performances in the last few tournaments. Not only has he been playing really well, he's taken out players like Zhao Ruliang, Chu Bingjie, and the scorelines. That's the interesting part. 15-6 and I think 15-6 as well against Chu Bingjie. What I did see when he was on the TV table, he's got the break almost perfect. And in saying that, what's the cue ball in the first break now? Niu Zhang was on the TV table yesterday morning and against Kong Dejing. And we didn't see the best of him. It was definitely not the best form from Niu Zhang. It took him quite a while to get settled, to get started in that match. And if He Wenchong is in the form that he's been throughout this last 32, Niu Zhang has to really come to the table quickly, start well, start strong, and yeah, that's the only way to keep a player like him at bay. This is a race to 17 semi-final of this tournament. Decided to go stripes. It's just the 14 ball might be slightly tough to get onto. Yeah, these are the two players that I called that would be in the final, or at least the last four, already when we were in the last 32 of this tournament. So could definitely see something in these two. Well, obviously Zhijiang coming through as the winner of the Grandmasters finals. He's a player you'd expect to be in the last 8, top 4 at least. But her Wenchong, the 24-year-old, previously a snooker player and then took up Heyball full-time. This is the result. This is the player that we have here in her Wenchong. Such an absolute machine. So this tournament does conclude this evening with the finals at 7 p.m. tonight. That is local time here in China. We have the Super Tour starting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So stay tuned to our live platforms as there is another tournament coming your way, and the Super Tour is a closed draw, so internationals play separately to the Chinese mainland players, unlike the Division 1 tour where everybody's in the same draw. 704 players started off this tournament. And at the same time, we have the Champions of Champions in Australia, Brisbane, Australia, starting tomorrow as well. The Joy staff putting on the finishing touches on that tournament. 38 Joy Q8 tables. The Brisbane Exhibition Centre for that tournament. 64 of the best ladies and 64 of the best men from around the world. Champions in their respective countries converging on Brisbane at the moment to play in that tournament. $400,000 guaranteed prize money in that tournament. That shows you that you have to become a champion in your country. So start playing this game and start winning the national title in your country, and you get an invite to a prestigious tournament like the Champions of Champions, as we see Zhijiang taking his first point and first break and run of this match. And I'm seeing a slightly different Zhijiang than I did yesterday. He's more calm, cool, collected, much more certain about what he's doing. And it shows with a very well executed rack and run off his opponent's foul break. Now, in the closing stages of the Grandmasters finals, Zhijiang had the break almost perfect as well, and he was able to rack together so many break and runs against Zhang Tai, the finalist in that event. Made a ball in the center. It's not looking too bad. Yeah, the 14 just trickling into that right center pocket. Yeah, Stripe's definitely looking better, and how's the cue ball? And that's the thing about Zhijiang, he can get that cue ball into such intricate, delicate spaces. When he's really flowing, he gets the pace of the table so quickly. Can can see the reason that he is a Grand Masters finals winner. Yeah, definitely a different player we see today. And many of you would have seen her Wenchong on the TV table 2 nights ago against Zhao Ruliang. And also you'd have seen on our Facebook page World Heyball Tour his defeat over Chu Bingjie last night. I mean, everyone in the world knows Chu Bingjie, knows what a fierce competitor he is, and for a player to defeat Chu Bingjie 16 or 15 frames to 6, it's a mammoth task and a huge undertaking from her Wenchong. But what everyone on the stream did see is what an absolute machine this player is, as we see first miss from Zhijiang. And this is what was happening the other day as well. He was missing shots like that. And that is not a shot that see these players missing at this level. So other than the opening break, her Wenchong to the table, and if Zhijiang misses balls like that, he is in trouble. And surprisingly, her Wenchong not punishing Zhijiang was able to make a great recovery shot, but he's not out of the woods yet. Have a look at the position he has on that last 15 ball. What a shot that is. Does he come behind the blue and out? Oh, what a piece of bad luck that is. Cue ball doesn't go past the blue too. Yeah, but also now, have a look at solids. You got 2 balls, 3 balls very close to the cushion, 7, 3, 6, even you can say the 4. What a clearance that her Wenchong has to make when he comes to the table. That's if he comes to the table. Yeah, he will be coming to the table, has the numerical advantage, 6, playing 1.
犯规。
And this is what we're talking about, numerical advantage. Wenchong, 5 solids, 5 playing 1. You have so many options, and of course, the black ball being where it is. Of course, if the black ball is sitting in the corner pocket or center pocket, it does change the game slightly, but so many chances now to get your balls out into play. Push the cue ball behind a blocker ball. Just like that. Exactly like that. Now, if he does get another ball in hand, I do think he will be trying to disrupt black ball and 7 ball. And the 7 should pass the black ball into that pocket. The 3 does as well. He's going to have a look, and I think it does, judging from where it lies. It should pass the black ball to the left side of that center pocket. There we are, right behind it. It does go. Needs a good pot on this 1 ball. Yeah, not only the good pot on the 1 ball, he had to play to be low on the 7 so that he can have access to the 3 next. Yeah, nice from Wenchong to take his first point on the board, and that was our
下
first
局何文冲
frame
胜，
with
分1比1。
multiple visits, and not really expecting many of those from these 2 players. I am expecting a finish or clearance frenzy in this match, but score 1-1 now, just 1 rack and run for Zhijiang.
第3局何文冲开球。
Wenchong to break now in his first break, opening break of the match. Cue ball going in. Look at the control now, 7 straight into that pocket, and that's what was going on when he played Zhao Ruliang 2 nights ago. Had the cue ball controlled, and he was making a ball in that pocket every single time. Ran 6 break and runs in a row. I have never seen, and at this level, a player being punished for his mistakes so badly. I mean, Zhao Ruliang, try break, he sits for 5 frames, misses a ball, sits for another 5. Unbelievable quality from this young man the previous night, and that's when I called it. I said top 4, top 2 even winner of this tournament, and these two players were the players I picked who would be in the final. So final before the final, and whoever comes up against one of these two players in the grand final later tonight really got to be ready to deal with an onslaught coming their way, because both these players are known for their finishing abilities, their precision around the table. He's on it once again, and it's not only his finishing ability, it's how quick he puts together the finish. And he goes 2-1 up with his first break and run, and the first break and run for the match. And when I was having a look at his profile, I actually saw that he has a name, something like the Tornado, and you can see why. Yeah, he's known as the Hurricane Boy. He's a sharp offensive style, and that's why he got that name. And you can see why. Look at how quick he is, how fast he is able to make these clearances and really change the game in a matter of seconds. Just 24 years of age, Wenchong. And up to date looks like one of his best performances so far in this tournament. I see a lot of top 32, top 64 finishes, top 8 in Tianjin. But in the last couple of tournaments, this is definitely one of his better performances. Now he hit that break so well, so controlled, but those balls not going in the center pocket, which shows you just wide, which shows you how difficult it is to run 6 break and runs in a row. It's not about the finishing, it's about the break as well. To get the break perfect, 6 frames in a row. And that's why you see a lot of comments talking about the winner's break format and that it can be unfair, but shouldn't it be fair to the player who puts in the most time working on that break? If you think about it like that, because the break is not something that these players just wake up and do naturally. It's worked on hours and hours, countless of hours. If they have to spend 8 to 10 hours practicing a day, let's say a good hour or 2 can be just breaking. Because at the end of the day, at this level, it comes down to the break. Because all these players are very capable of clearing the table, making the finishes. this is not that clean. Had a recovery ball at the top of the table, managed to get the cue ball onto this side of the table, and this table has been reclothed. I can see it. You can see the new lines at the bottom, you can see the marks are gone from the top of the table. This table has been reclothed for this final day of the tournament. Nice, very nice. But look at where the cue balls ended up. Almost straight on the 4 ball. He's in trouble here, is Zhijiang. Yeah, reclothed, and that's not with any cloth. That's the Lieberwin 8848. It's their flagship cloth at the moment. The best playing conditions for the game of Heyball. And that cloth coming through from Lieberwin. Now, if you get your hands on one of these cloths, contact the Joy staff, the Joy page, or Lieberwin directly as well. And this cloth is used for all the Joy tournaments now, so it is the cloth that you need on your tables to be in tune when you come to these tournaments. As you can see from the exterior pictures that we have had, this is the Joy Q8 Golden Leg steel block table. Now, it's not just the color of the table that's different, it's also a few other things. It has a thicker slate, which makes for a more even playing surface, more consistent. And the cushion is made almost entirely of steel. It's not a steel plate, it's a steel block. Each cushion weighing in at just under 50 kilos. So when they are bolted on, there's no give like there is with wood. It's steel onto the slate, and which is the reason it's such a consistent bounce, and the pockets also take the way they do on the Q8 table. Now, these tables will be used at the Champions of Champions event in Brisbane, if you have seen the Joy staff setting up that venue. And these tables will also be for sale after that tournament in Brisbane, Australia. 38 of these premium Joy Q8 tables. Now, do you see why this player is so highly regarded by me? Look at the shots that he pulls off. We did see another player who can make these kind of clearances last night, actually. Zhijiang. I would say not as precise as her Wenchong, and as deliberate, but also able to make amazing clearances. And depending on the results of this match, I do think we might see Zhijiang in the final. And what a final that would be if we had one of these players against him, because those are 3 players who can finish the table from absolutely anywhere. So broke dry in this frame. Wenchong and Zhijiang did not capitalize. And after letting him back to the table, it looks like it's very possible. As we say that, bridging over the black ball, he's pulled a quick one at 2-1 up, very likely looking like 3-1. it's a second pressure bank that Zhijiang has had to pull off in this match. 3 frames down, and quite a few of these little tricky finishes, pressure finishes for him at the moment. It's there, that's not an easy pot with the cue ball almost glued to that side cushion. So Wenchong opened the door now at 2-1. Could have been 3-1 up, but he's given Zhijiang a chance to equalize. And I can tell you what, that's not a shot that we see missed. Been quite fortunate with where the black ball has gone, and the cue ball as well. Worrying signs at the moment for Zhijiang, our Grandmasters Finals winner. I think even he knows he's up against a real force. Wenchong, as known in China as the Hurricane Boy, just 24 years of age, coming from a snooker background. Notable achievements in this tournament, taking out Zhao Ruliang and Xu Bingjie, 15 frames to 6, 10 break-in runs in the match against Zhao Ruliang. 10 break-in runs in a race to 15. How do you play against that? That was a question we were all asking ourselves when we saw that kind of level. How do you play against that? You miss a ball and you sit for 5 frames. And that mistake is gonna be costly. So Zhijiang not able to convert that black ball. He definitely did have a chance to make things 2-all in this 4th frame. And now surely Wenchong increases his lead to 3 frames to 1 after 4 frames played. So far, just 2 run-outs in this match. 1 rack-and-run from Zhijiang, 1 break-and-run for Wenchong. Score 3-1 in this race to 17 semi-final match. Yeah, we do see a lot of varying opinions on the break rule for this game. Now it's winner's break format, which was changed earlier this year. So if you have played this game a lot and you've played against the top players in the world, you'd see, and even if you're watching the stream, you'd see how tough it is to get the break right. It's not a sure thing. Out of 10 breaks, a player who hasn't practiced the break might pot a ball 2 or 3 times, whereas the player who's put in over 100 hours practicing the break gets it 8 or 9 times. So that percentage is based on work put in, because these players at the table right now, they have so many different types of breaks that they can use, depending on many factors: where they see the balls going, how they spread, pace, bridge hand, whether to pop the break. There's so much that goes into it. Like you've seen right now, Wenchong hit 6 break-and runs in a row against Zhao Ruliang, but in this match thus far, I think out of 3 or 4 breaks, that's his 2nd or 3rd dry break. So he'll have to be thinking, what does he have to do different? What does he have to change? Come to the table when he gets a chance to break again and factor those things in. And if also you do look down the standings when you do go to top 200 or top 300 players, you don't see the consecutive break and run rate like you do at the top, and that's, say, purely based on ability to break the balls. Like at the moment, one of the best players on the break, Chu Bingxie, I would say her Wenchong, Sun Yuan, finalist of the Baotou Station Super Tour against Chu Bingxie. I feel that it's at this level now, we are at top 4. So this is the 4 best players out of 704 players who started this event. Open draw, that means best international, best Chinese players, and these are the top 4. So it's only at this level where you'll start to see the 6-pack, few break and runs in a row. And also now with the long race, this is race to 17. So if a player can run 4, 5 or 6 racks in a row, don't think we have seen much more than that. Eventually something will give out. Either they put the cue ball on the break or ball doesn't fall. But the opponent, who is then of a similar standard, has the chance to run a 6-pack himself. That's just my personal opinion, but I feel that the winner break format does make things exciting. And also now you'll see players really working so hard on their break. I've seen it in the practice room here at the venue. Players will have a spotter who will just be racking balls for 1 hour. Rack break, rack break, rack break. And then you have to ask yourself the question as a player, how many hours have you spent actually working on the break, practicing the break? At the moment, it looks like Zhijiang is going to capitalize on that dry break from her Wenchong. Zhijiang gets his second point on the board with a rack and run. So that's his second run now in this match. He Wenchong still leading 3 frames to 2 in this race to 17. So I do see a comment on our YouTube stream regarding Niu Zhang picking up the cue ball as it was going in. So it was going in, he stopped it, he then put it back on the table where the referee took it and gave ball in hand to his opponent. So that you can do that in the game of Heyball. It's not considered a loss of frame foul as it is in black ball rules. If I'm not mistaken, in black ball rules, if you, when you are playing in the championships, if you do catch the cue ball on its way in, you can have a rack awarded against you. But also you have to remember this is a ball in hand game anyway on the table. And even when a foul is committed, the cue ball has to be picked up by the opponent usually. So it's not such a problem in the rules of Heyball. Yeah, and dry break from Niu Zhang. So both these players, as you can see, haven't found the right break for these current conditions. And because we are using the triangle now, the rack is never going to be perfect. It's never going to be the same. There's so many factors. I mean, the weather plays a part, the air conditioning in the venue, the lights. Now it's new cloth. It's brand new cloth. Nicely done. Given himself the option of the 4 to the center as well. He could leave the 1 for last, roll the 1 in, and he is on the black ball to the right center pocket. That's kicked slightly wide, but it's there. Deciding to play the 1 now. Now, does the 6 go to the bottom right corner pocket? Because he's landed pretty straight on the 1. If the 6 doesn't go and he has to play it into that pocket, he's going to have to inject some pace into this. Yeah. Too accurate to miss that shot. Precision from her Wenchong. Absolute precision. As he takes his 4th point and his first rack and run of this match, leading 4 frames to 2 over Niu Zhang in this race to 17.
精研工艺，邂逅上乘才智，匠心独具，诠释卓越性能，尽显非凡魅力。每一次击球都能感受到力量与技巧的和谐共鸣，每一次挥杆都是精准操控与职业打感完美契合。手握奥斯本兹酒杆，为热爱全力以赴，注重打感，选奥斯本兹。
第7局，何文冲开球。
So currently 4-2 up 4 clearances so far in this match from both players. 2 racket runs from Zhijiang, 1 break and run, 1 rack and run for her Wenchong. Now let's have a look at the break. Dead center. Hand goes up. That's because the 2 balls that were heading for the center pocket didn't go in. A ball got kicked in. Have a look at this. Look at the 3 and the 12. They miss the center, and the 7 knocks the 6 off the 3. The hand goes up to apologize. That's how deliberate the break is. Where, in which sport do you see a player apologizing? Or in which cue sport code do you see a player apologizing after the break? Usually we are so happy to pot a ball or a few balls on the break, no matter which pocket it goes into. But this break is so trained, so deliberate from these top Chinese players. Does he have the 12? Doesn't look like, from this angle, it doesn't look like he has it. Gonna leave the cue ball behind the 13. Yeah, I don't see anything easy for Zhijiang. Currently 4-2 down. I think he only has sight of the 5, maybe a touch of the 3 and the 7 at the top. What he could do here is leave that cue ball as tight to the ball cushion as he can. Yeah, 2-way shot there would have been on the 2 if he potted it, the 1 as well. But also played that with an element of safety. What a pot that is. From where the cue ball was to pot that ball. How straight do you have to cue through that cue ball? It's been unfortunate to not leave himself anything easier. Yeah, doesn't need to be left on anything easier when you can pot like that. And what a recovery that is now, nicely on the 10, right behind the 10 on the left side of the table. From what I'm seeing at the moment, I know it's still early stages, but I don't think there's any player that can actually handle her Wenchong. It's definitely plays the better positional play. There was a touch of side on that cue ball, and that's why the 10 hasn't gone in. He hasn't left an easy clearance for Zhijiang. Still early stage in this match, race to 17. It's a very long way to go. And you usually see it around 8 frames played. After that, that's when both players will be really in tune, and that's where you see the best of them. And that's what I mean. You have to remember that these players are also so used to playing long races. Even in their local tournaments, it's race to 21, race to 23 in these events. So you can afford to drop a few frames at the beginning of a match. Don't have to be absolutely on it from the beginning. You have time to get into the match, find your rhythm. And once that kicks in, now might have a touch of awkward bridging over the black ball. Now he did miss a ball earlier like this. So I would expect him to take a few extra seconds on it and just steady himself. A shot like this requires absolutely no body movement. Yeah, he's done well with that. This black ball now surely for 5-2 up for her Wenchong, and he'll be breaking in the next frame. The next frame will be the 8th frame, and we will have a 10-minute interval after that. So 5-2 up, does he go into the break 6-2, or can Zhijiang bring it back to 5-3 before that break? So currently 5-2 up in this race to 17. 4 clearances in total in this match from both players. Her Wenchong to break. Yeah, hand goes up again because those are not the balls meant to go in. It's the 13 and the 2. The 1 goes in and the 12. So from where I'm sitting, it looks like there's a bit too much pop on the break. As you can see, the white ball does pop up a bit. I think that is forcing those 2 balls just past the center pocket at the moment. Oh, he's going to be perfect on the 14. Have a look at that. 1, 2, 3 cushions for the 14 at the bottom end of the table on our screen. thing is, only one of these great players will be in the final. It's unfortunate that they had to meet now in the semi-final. Would have really liked them to be playing in the final, but final before the final, it's okay. Yeah, it's a little bit pacey, but what do you expect coming off 2 cushions into the angle like that? I mean, what a shot he's played there. And this table was clothed at the end of last night, so brand new cloth that they are playing on at the moment. It's now position for the black ball, cut back on the 10. The cue ball naturally wants to come down the right side of the table. It's tough. You have to, if you pull too much, you're heading into the 3. You have to go past the 3. I'd prefer to pass the 3 on the right, like that. And you see how tough that is. So easy to take your eye off the pot. Oh, he's missed that by millimeters. I don't really like that shot from Zhijiang because he's left the jump on. The jump cues these days are so powerful. I mean, that's not tough at all to get the cue ball over the 3. It's got a lot of elevation on that. Yeah, from here we could see that it looked like he was going to be missing that, so he didn't take the time he needed to with that jump shot. I feel that's one that he should have taken a few more seconds with, and he should have gotten that one. So that's now the difference between 6-2 at the break or 5-3. Now the 4 ball only passes to the bottom right corner pocket. He's left himself nicely on the 7. Yeah, it's going good so far for Zhijiang. He's left that short. Oh, what has he done there? I really expected him to put a bit more power in that and actually widen the angle a bit. come through for the 2 in the opposite center. Tentative position on the 2, but he's okay. Potted the 2. Seems to be just good on the black ball to the center pocket. Cue ball goes a few more rolls and he's in the jaws of the bottom left. It's there. Zhijiang gets his 3rd point on the board. So at the break, 5-3 in favor of Wenchong.
乔氏金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。
好球杆，最难的不是木料、设计和工艺，而是对运动的理解、对力学的研究和对运动者经验大数据的采集与处理。LP 以一颗匠心，超过30年的经验累积。 全世界数百万使用者的反馈数据，懂球，懂力，更懂你。
俺老孙啥功名不要，只求回到这花果山中了，过过逍遥日子。
天耀球杆，化一切为可能。欧尚地毯，突破核心科技，从智能车间到高品质球房，重新定义标准，为每一个台球梦想铺好第一步。铺好毯，打好球，不掉毛，零干扰。
职业选手的第一选择，欧尚地毯，掉毛地毯终结者。
超级蓝钻皮头职业版，采用进口头层水牛皮，韧性好，弹性持久，颗颗精选，粒粒碾压，严格质检。 世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，祝您夺冠！
罂粟胶边具有国内胶边很难做到的特点，罂粟胶边的硬度达到了45度，使反射角高度接近入射角。罂粟整条胶边误差小于20丝，因而各部位酷性一致。 欢迎各品牌厂家使用罂粟胶边来提升台球桌的专业性能。好胶边罂粟皂，好胶边罂粟皂。
钻皮头，黄金版、白金版，采用进口头层水牛皮，颗颗精选，严格质检，韧性好，弹性持久，世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，一专业，缔造不凡。 寸间雕刻，毫厘间镶嵌。成木质之美，雕琢洞天，遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心，以点线面，以小现大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。
今天给大家推荐一款非常好的台泥 H153，是我自己用了1年多的台泥，汗毛量80%，手感特别细腻，走位很平稳。根据我自己用了1年多的这个台泥，这个 H153特别适合我们球房用，一些中小型比赛也特别适合它用。如果你的球房想用一款非常好的台泥，我推荐 H153。
H153走球更到位。
一线赛事指定台泥：丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等国内外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台泥领导品牌。
暂停结束，比赛继续。第9局，牛壮开球。犯规。线后自由球。10秒，延时。 9局牛壮胜，比分4-5。谢谢。第10局牛壮开球。
Yeah, in that previous frame, Zhijiang taking it to make it 5-4, getting his 4th point on the board. And that was another steal that he's made off Wenchong. Before the break, it was a 5-2. Went into the break 5-3, and now he's taken another one with a good break as well. I mean, there's hardly any balls left on the table after that break. Potted 2 stripes, 1 solid on the break, 3 balls down. Now he's coming very close to the 3, a little bump into the 3. And that is not intended, and what looked like it should be an easy clearance now requires some recovery work. Yeah, that was a good recovery. It shouldn't have been needed. He's done a good job of banking that into the center. As we see that again, good pace as well. And if he can hold his nerve and keep the cue ball on a string from now on, looks like he can get his first break and run of this match. What is going on with Zhijiang today? Oh, I can't believe it. I'm sure he can't either. Unbelievable scenes in this match. How many times has he lost the cue ball or missed a pot that he shouldn't have? It's not there, and look at the cue ball as well. He's playing there with so much of inside English to check the cue ball off the cushion. The reason for that was so that the cue ball didn't go in. Now Wenchong with a really good chance at extending the lead once again and making it 6 frames to 4. Should be coming into the angle of the 13. Now, being a left-handed player, the 13, the way it is not a nice shot to play. Now will he switch to the right? Now he's going to use the rest. Did see him using his right hand the previous day. Using the rest from this angle does make the 13 slightly easier than it was before. As he extends the lead once again, a score now 6-4 in favor of Wenchong over Zhijiang. And I mean, careless, very careless from Zhijiang in that frame. Twice getting out of position, and then that unforced error of potting the cue ball into the center pocket. And that adds another rack and run to Wenchong's tally of clearances. He's now on a total of 3. Zhijiang on a total of 2 rack and runs.
第11局，何文冲开球。10秒。5、4。犯规。
And cue ball in on that break again. Yeah, was just nudged in by the 13, but still not getting the break right. He's not potting the balls that he wants to in the center pocket. And that's the only reason that this match is dragging the way it is at the moment, because usually between two players like this, we are seeing so many more break and runs. Now ball in hand for Zhijiang, ball in hand behind the balk line, and the white ball is potted on the break.
5、延时。
I feel that he needs to make a really nice clearance just to settle him at the moment, because he's definitely not settled in this match. Nice so far. Really nice, purposely staying low on the 9. He just has to pull the cue ball, get it past the 4 and the black ball coming up table. Yeah, nicely done so far. Black ball pots into the bottom right corner pocket. From this angle we can't see whether it goes past the 7 into the bottom left. Yeah, it's been clean so far in this frame, and now this is more like the New Zhang that we are used to seeing at the table. Much better so far from New Zhang in this black ball to take his 5th point and another rack and run for him. It's there, and he's not letting his opponent Wenchong run away with this match. Is New Zhang keeping the scores tight, not letting there be a gap of more than 3 frames. Now it's just down to 1, 6 frames to 5 in this race to 17. Yes, that's exactly what he needed, was a good clearance like that to just settle him a bit, because after not making that break and run in the previous frame, can cause you some disappointment. So potted a ball on the break, and out of these 2 players at the moment, New Zhang is breaking the balls better, and I feel that's the only reason the scoreline is that tight. Because other than the break, New Zhang has made a few more mistakes than her Wenchong. Not only when it's come to missed pots, but also positional play has not looked settled in this match. So at the moment, one player breaking better than the other, but the other player is potting and making better position, but not breaking that well. So if you analyze these games, that's what it comes down to. Like 2 nights ago, her Wenchong against Zhao Ruliang. Ruliang couldn't find the break and missing pots. And then you're playing against a player who's getting the break, not missing pots, getting a few good rolls. The scoreline can be 15-6. And I feel if he can make this clearance, it'll definitely mentally bring him back after not making that previous break and run, which he should have had. Yeah, he's not there yet. He is not there yet, and I think the only saving grace with that is the 11 ball might now be blocking the path of the black ball. He's missed that by quite a bit as well. Made that a bit thick with the outside jaw. He's not here yet. Score at the moment 6 frames to 5. approaching the halfway line of this match soon. And now Wenchong to the table. Now, question is, does the black ball go? The black ball and the 3 ball. Now he has the angle of the 6 to do something about that grouping. I decided against it. He's right behind the 3 now. Now have a look at the area he's played into there. I mean, what a positional shot that is. Not only would he have been on the 7 still if he ran it short or long, but the precision to be on the 5 and the 3 like that. So this tells us that the 3 definitely goes into the center pocket. He's having another look at it, but he's played on it, so it must go. Oh, what a plan that was. And it has not worked out, but that was such a tight gap to play a shot like that. It almost didn't go in. Would love to see a replay of that. It looked like it went off the stripe, cushion, stripe again, and then in. Interesting. Where is he taking the black ball to? Doesn't go to the top, doesn't go to the center. And if this doesn't go in and he doesn't leave the cue ball anywhere safe, I think Zhijiang's going to be back at the table picking up the pieces from this frame. Yeah, he's two minds about this. Is he playing it onto the 13? Yes, onto the 13. And that's not the worst end result, actually. Look at where he's left the cue ball, but all Zhijiang has to do, if he can't find a pot out of this, is leave the cue ball on the bottom left side of the table, or wrong side of the black ball. And it's relatively safe for now. Yeah, that's where he wanted the cue ball. Now, of course, the 1 rail kick is on. Could even go 2 rails with a touch of side, but the 1 rail is definitely on. It's in. Look at the way he's played that. Unbelievable. Wenchong takes his 7-point, leading 7 frames to 5.
was born in Louisiana. My mama told my papa, our little boy has got the blues.
You better watch what you do.
第13局，何文冲开球。10秒。
And this time making the ball that he intended to. 4-ball goes into the left center pocket. Score currently 7-5 in favor of Wenchong over Zhijiang, and so far Zhijiang making quite a few more unforced errors than the 24-year-old Wenchong.
10秒，延时。
When the shot he's played there, I mean, bridging like that to still play a power force follow off one cushion. This is tough. He's missed a ball like this before, but not this time. And so dangerous when he gets into this kind of mood. A little nudge on the black ball opens the 12. And having watched this player before, everything he does is deliberate.
10秒。5、4。
Okay, still on the 15. But now to get behind the 10 ball. Usually playing this one cushion off the bottom cushion here on our screen. Past the 7. Oh, he's checked it too much. He has checked that way too much. And that was such an excellent opportunity to get another break and run on the board and increase that lead, but yeah, he's clearly frustrated with that.
秒。
Niu Zhang's played the safety. I think the 5-ball does block the path directly to the 10, but it shouldn't be a difficult 2-cushion escape. Ball cushion, then right cushion. Now, being in the position he's in, I think he already feels like he has lost the frame, not getting position on the 10. So does he smash this? Yes, he does. Once again, getting a good run of the balls is Wenchong. At 10 ending up there, I mean, it could have ended up in the middle of a cushion somewhere. Yeah, good pot from Niu Zhang on that. He's nicely on the next solid as well. Currently 7-5 down. I feel he thinks it should have been 6-all. He played a decent safety shot in the previous frame. Well, it wasn't that tight, but he left the 1-cushion escape. And his opponent was able to one-rail kick the black ball into the center. So we went into the previous break at 8 frames with the score 5-3. Just 2 frames in it at that time. Currently still the same. Just 2 frames between these two players. And if Niu Zhang can take out this finish, reduce the gap to just 1 frame nicely on the black ball. And once again, this is not a break and run or rack and run, so quite a few frames with multiple visits as he pots the black ball. Score 7-6 in favor of Wenchong. 7-6, 13 frames played, just 6 clearances in total for the entire match. There we see 3 rack and runs for Niu Zhang, 2 rack and runs, 1 break and run for Wenchong. Score currently 7-6. Niu Zhang to break this race to 17 as we approach halfway through this match. Final later on tonight at 7 p.m. local time will be a race to 19 for that final. Speaking of that, let's have a look at the score on our other table, TV table 2.
第14局，牛壮开球。
That looks like a dry break from Niu Zhang. It is. On TV table 2, Zhao Jianbo 9-5 up against Li Yan. It's tough to see a winner in this match at the moment, but if things go the same, it will be Zhao Jianbo in the final against one of these two players. But anything can happen, especially winner break format. Li Yan could put together a few decent break and runs and get back into that match over on TV table 2. That match is being streamed on WPAlive.tv. So in your browser, put in WPAlive.tv, where you can catch all the action from this tournament, the tournament that starts tomorrow as well, the Super Tour, and also the Champions of Champions event, which also starts tomorrow. That's from the 18th to the 21st in Brisbane, Australia. And still the reason we have such a close, tight scoreline in this match is because both players not able to find the break yet. Struggling, really struggling with the cue ball going in or try breaks in general. And there you see him cheating the pocket a bit just to stay on the 5 ball of the 12. Had to use the entire pocket for that 7 ball. And it looks like Wenchong is going to be punishing Zhijiang for that try break. Yeah, that's such a good shot. He made that look much easier than it actually is to force follow off the rail through another ball to get the position he wants, as he takes his 8 point, leading 8 frames to 6 over Zhijiang with another rack and run. That brings his tally up to 3 rack and runs, 1 break and run. Zhijiang currently on 3 rack and runs. So far, 14 frames played, only 1 break and run in the entire set. And now once either of these players or both players find the break, I think that's when we're going to see that scoreline just flying up. Because both these players are very capable of putting together 3 or 4 break and runs in a row.
15局，何文冲开球。
So Wenchong to break now in this 15th frame. Currently leading 8 frames to 6 over Grandmasters Finals winner Zhijiang. The 6 ball looks good. Just getting there. Have a look at the 6 ball, still heading for the outside jaw. I think a little touch of the cue ball as well. Yeah, not the easiest layout if you have a look at the cluster at the bottom end of the table on our screen. Yeah, but that's exactly what he does, straight away into that 5 ball, and that should have nicely opened up the 10 and the 9. Have a look at this. Currently 10 and 9 don't pot. Little bump into the 5. And now both of them are available to corner pockets on this end of the table. Yeah, now I did say when one of these players or both these players find the break, gonna see some real fireworks in this match. But if one player finds it first, he is gonna pull away. It's gonna increase that lead very quickly, and especially at this time in the match, scores quite close. If a player has to run 4 or 5 racks in a row now, I mean, he's so much closer to the winning line. Yeah, now the 10 ball is potable to the bottom left. Can use the 13 to get nicely on the 10. What he can do here is actually play into an area where he might even be on both. Yeah, like that. Exactly like that. So if he ran that short, he was on the 13 and he'd have the angle to come for the 10. And he's run it a bit long, so he's nicely on the 10. And this black ball now for Wenchong's second break and run of the match. And for him to lead 9 frames to 6. Yeah, that's more like it from Wenchong. That's what we are used to seeing. His ability to quickly put those frames together.
丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰的不例外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台泥领导品牌。
There we see it 9-6 in favor of Wenchong. 2 break and runs, 3 rack and runs, and just 3 rack and runs for Zhijiang. And if you have been watching from the beginning, you'd see that Zhijiang is not in top form in this match, and this is single elimination. At the moment, we are down to the last 4. If you lose, you out. Winner goes through to the finals later this evening at 7 p.m. local time here in China.
第16局，何文冲开球。
This is the 16th frame now getting underway. We will have another player break after this frame. Yeah, the break's not there yet. It's not there yet for Wenchong. And once again, this is the frame before the player break, so it's a chance for Zhijiang to decrease the deficit to 2 frames. The last player break, he went into it 5-3 down, just 2 frames in it at that point. Currently trailing by 3 frames. And I feel that's the only way he stays in this match. He's either going into the break 2 frames down or 4 frames down. And if it's the latter, I think he's in trouble, because that'll mean that Wenchong is first to double digits and then just 7 frames away from the finish line. He's having to see the 3 ball that goes past the 12 into the bottom left corner pocket now. The 6 is available into the right corner pocket, as you can see. What has he done? I don't believe that he's left it so short, and that's the thing. What I've noticed about Zhijiang's game is he plays a lot onto 1 ball. So if he slightly underruns or overruns on that 1 ball, he's totally out of position. He was supposed to be playing on the 3. Look at where he's left himself. Yeah, that hit the cushion immediately, and oh, that's not good. That is not good at all. Wenchong comes to the table, and okay, so you see the 10 and the 15 on the left side. That is currently not possible because of the 3. So what he could do here, he could run into them. He plays this with inside English. I would think the best is actually cushion first before hitting them. There we go. Okay, he's taken 1. Yeah, I mean, was asking a lot to take out both of them with that shot, as you can't generate that much pace into the cue ball, but done well to get the 15 out into open play. Now, if he gets a good angle on the 9 to the center, he could either run into the 10 or just park the cue ball behind it to play it into the opposite center pocket. No, he's on the wrong side, I think. Yeah, he's on the wrong side of the 9. Yeah, there you see it. Cue ball wants to go upwards. That's why he had to leave himself slightly high on the 9 to get the cue ball running towards that 10 ball instead.
10秒，延时。
which of these two stripes can he use to get the cue ball behind the 10? 10 is slightly away from that side cushion, and I think it's the 11. Yeah, it's looking like he wants to go deep on the cue ball. Might be changing his mind though. He needs to get the cue ball onto the left side cushion just behind the 10. Yeah, he's played to run into the 10, and I'm not sure about that shot. It's a lot of risk in doing that. There was no guarantee the 10 was even going to be potable after he made contact. Now then, he's behind the 10. I think the shot he has to play. I think he has to pump this into the top corner pocket. Yep, like that. Oh, look at what he's done with the 3 ball. Oh, Zhijiang comes to the table, and not an easy table. So yeah, we have been having quite a few frames like this in this match. Only 2 break and runs so far, 15 frames played, 2 break and runs, a total of 6 rack and runs. That's 8 finishes in total out of 15. It's about a 50% finish rate so far. We are more used to seeing 80, 85 to 90% clearance rate. It looks like the 3 does go into the center. Now this is what Zhijiang needed to go into the break, just 2 frames behind instead of 4. Good pot on the 3, nicely on the black ball to the center. Excellent recovery from Zhijiang. As he takes his 7th point, into the break we go. Just 2 frames between them at 9 frames to 7.
乔氏金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。一线赛事指定台迷：丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等不例外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台迷领导品牌。方寸间雕刻，毫厘间镶嵌。成木质之美，雕琢洞天，与腾龙之势，巧思匠心，以点线面，以小现大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。河北省天一集团创立于2013年，注册资金500万，员工230余名，有着10余年的生产经验及研发设计、生产销售于一体的大型生产企业。优秀的员工、先进的技术、精良的设备，严格的管理使公司得以不断的发展壮大。精确、可靠、专业是我们生产的精神和服务信念。
天一沙发让舒适无处不在。
原有止溪，里有蓝，这里生态优美，山清水秀，五水河畔光影四射，它是那么的灵动和风雅。芷江是侗族人民自治县， 是一座被少数民族洞乡文化所萦绕的魅力之城。湖南省100名最美扶贫人物维楚酒庄董事长吴如女士，在2001年激情焕发，投资农业，扎根芷江。经过多年耕耘，刺葡萄种植基地连绵有5万多亩。她带领当地村民把优质的刺葡萄打造成了集种植、生产、加工、观光于一体的农旅典范，助力富民产业与全域旅游、生态建设、乡村振兴深度融合。行走在酒庄，可见东南亚风格的酒吧，配套齐全的露营基地，风格迥异的美食餐厅，小资情调的清清民宿，典雅精致的侗族演艺大厅，1000个春天，更有气势恢宏的侗家鼓楼巨福楼，楼高30多米。巨福楼广场可同时容纳1万名游客，荷花满园的田园，一花一世界，一步一风景，宛若世外桃源。维楚酒庄非物质文化收藏馆陈列了侗家织布机等非物质文化物件。漫步在幽静和散发着清香的刺葡萄园中，畅享丰收的喜悦，让你心旷神怡。走进酒庄地下酒窖，扑面而来的葡萄酒香味儿，让你仿佛沐浴在温馨浪漫的红酒文化之中。维楚酒庄的建设始终以世界的眼光、国际的标准，以宾客为尊的理念，高标准、高质量建成了中国最美侗乡酒庄，同时酿造出了品质一流的红酒。近2年来，酒庄开展了采摘节、小丑节、亚伦蒂尼飞虎 P40潮流音乐节，以及怀化味道第7届高山刺葡萄节等丰富多彩的主题活动。期间人声鼎沸，好评如潮。维楚酒庄还倾力打造了大型文旅实景演绎侗情芷江，以浓郁的侗乡文化大餐惊艳呈现。维楚酒庄的美食自成体系，有精、美、情、礼的特色，科学布局业态，全力做好文旅加电商加乡村振兴，着力打造网红打卡之地，形成了3农服务的文旅 IP。感受侗族风情，品尝红酒和美食，沉浸于载歌载舞之中，尽情享受红酒与艺术碰撞的文化盛宴，享受诗酒远方的美好愿景。维楚有酒，于斯为醉。中国最美侗乡酒庄，欢迎您！
我是代言人赵卫国，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人雨龙海，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人楚秉杰，星星暴走，年轻自由。
I was born in Louisiana. My mama told my papa, our little boy has got the blues.
You better watch what you do to me. Watch what you do to me.
How much? I'll be sorry. That's for no question.
冠军500万乔氏大师赛官方供应商，正红胶边均匀回弹，铸就一流打感，持续助力中式台球职业化联赛，制造好球桌，胶边选正红。
俺老孙啥功名不要，
暂停结束，比赛继续。第17局，牛壮开球。何文冲胜，比分10-7。谢谢。第18局，何文冲开球。
And we are back after that break. Wenchong capitalizing on that dry break, getting another rack and run on the board. The score now 10-7 in favor of Wenchong over Niu Zhang. The thing is, he's not able to consistently make a ball on the break, and that's the reason he's not able to pull away in this match. 10-7, race to 17. 7 frames from the finish line and 3 frames away from his opponent. Now the 13 couldn't go past the 2 and that's why he's run into it. But now, as we see that again, have a look at this. I don't think there was enough space for the 13 to pass. He's pushed the 2 towards the pocket, blocking the 14's path. And that's why he has to take the 14-9 now. And look at how much that cue ball has traveled. Did not expect it to go that far off the table. Right behind the 2 ball, it looks like the 13 can squeeze in. Yeah, nicely off the cushion and in. And it looks like he's on the 12 towards the 14. Now you have to be careful with this. 14 is slightly towards the left side of that corner pocket. So what that means is it's going to push the 12 to the left as well. It all depends on how he hits this. If he hits it full, he can get the double kiss and it can go in. Yeah, it's towards the left, and that's why it's not gone in. That's exactly why it's not gone in. It had to actually be cut in to the pocket. And that would have pushed the 12 further away from the corner as well. So that was not as simple as it looked for Zhijiang. He's taken his extension now. So now what he does have, he has 6 solids left on the table, so he has the numerical advantage. The only problem is where the stripes are. They're all around the bottom left corner pocket, so it's tough to play a good safety shot. However, there's a possibility that he can play the 6 down. I see this, yeah, if he gets behind the 6, there we go. This is nice. Play the 6 down to the 14. It's going to come off the 12-14. Yeah, nicely done. I think that's a really good shot, because if he just went directly into the 14, then Zhijiang would play 12 onto the 6, well, cue ball 12-6, and leave her Wenchong in a bad situation. So yeah, that's a securing the frame shot from Wenchong. Referee calling 10 seconds.
延时
He's tried to tie up the 5 slightly, but the 5-6 combination is still on. If he can find the first pot, and the 4 is available to the left center pocket. Cue ball comes off the ball cushion. Should be naturally running down table. And there you see it, we are right behind the 6 ball. 5-6 is on. He's jacked up on the cue ball. It's one way to play that shot. I mean, he could have rolled it and let it bounce off the cushion, but I think he wouldn't have had the angle that he has now. And he decided against playing the 5-6. But he stuck the cue ball behind the black ball, making things difficult for himself once again. He's currently 10-7 up, but this has been the pattern from both players actually. And I feel that's the reason we haven't seen that many clearances in this match. 17 frames played. Currently only a 50% clearance rate. As far as cue balls go, it's a brilliant cue ball to get it tight onto the ball cushion. Yeah, almost getting the block on the 15 as well with the 5 there. So Wenchong. He's only left a piece, a small piece of the 15 available, about half the 15. So if he contacts this quite full, the cue ball's going to head towards the 312. So he has to catch it fine. And that was the problem. Cue ball in hand for Wenchong. Now, so far in this match, at both the 8 frame and the 16 frame player break, it's just been 2 frames in it. Currently, the gap is 3 frames. surely now, as Wenchong gets his 11th point on the scoreboard. Gap now to 4 frames in this race to 17. And it's there, he gets his 11th point leading, 11 frames to 7. So currently leading 11 frames to 7. Wenchong to break. Referee just making sure that those first 3 balls are all touching. Most important to get the power delivered through the pack.
第19局，何文冲开球。
So far, just 2 break-in runs in this entire match, and there have been from this man on the table at the moment. 7 in, and that's more like it. He's a good bounce with the cue ball. Yeah, much better. Have a look at the 7 straight into the center pocket. Stripes in play for Wenchong. Now taking the 13 will automatically loosen up the black ball and the 5 ball as well. He should still be on the 10. Yeah, so far so good for Wenchong. Just 3 more stripes left on the table, and he's so far doing really well in this clearance. Few good shots to start off this clearance on the bottom end of the table. Opening pot and then 13 to loosen up the black ball. Yeah, when a player plays shots like that, then you know then you know. This black ball for his 12th point and his third break and run. A little bit of bridging, hampered over the one. But no mistake at all as he takes his 12th point, leading 12-7. Third break and run for Wenchong. So now imagine that times 6. That's what he did against Zhao Ruliang. 6 break-in runs in a row. That quick as well, so you can imagine how fast the scoreline changed. If a player is making a break and run that kind of speed.
第20局，何文冲开球。
Score currently 12-7 in favor of Wenchong. So he's 5 away from his opponent, 5 away from the finish line, race to 17. And once again, he's got the break. It's only taken him 19 frames to find it. But have a look at this. Look at the 5. Look at the 13. Okay, the 13 took a slight kiss off the 1, off the cue ball, but yeah, I think Zhijiang is in trouble. Score on the other table, TV table 2, the other semi-final. Zhao Jianbo 12-10 up against Li Yan. Also a tight match on that side. This match was quite tight at the first 2 player breaks at 8 frames and 16, but Wenchong has just found another gear in the last few frames. Yeah, nicely navigating that bottom right corner of the table. At 15 ball was blocking those solids. Screw back off one cushion with absolute ease. Didn't mind the touch on the 10, he's still on the 1. Yeah, using all of that center pocket as well. And this black ball now for his 13 point That would be his 4th break and run, 2nd consecutive. And it's there. Wenchong decides to join the party. Now this is what we are used to seeing from this young man. Just 24 years of age, Wenchong. Currently leading Grandmasters Finals 2025 winner Zhijiang 13 frames to 7 in this race to 17.
第21局，何文冲开球。
And the 4's in. Now this is the form he was in when he played Zhao Ruliang. Except that day, it didn't take him very long to start firing like this. I think it was just maybe 7 or 8 frames before he started making those consecutive break-and runs. Currently on 2 consecutive break-and runs is Wenchong. 4 break-and runs, 4 rack-and runs for him, 3 rack-and runs for Zhijiang. That tells you that Zhijiang just hasn't been in this match yet. I say yet because it is a race to 17. Still quite a while to go. That was a play into the 5. He's gotten into the 3, but the 5 is still a problem. So 6-ball and 2-ball are open. It's just the 5 that's a problem. So can he stun off 1 cushion into the 5? He can. Most certainly can. It'll help if the 12 drops. It has. And the 5 open. Looks like to the corner and to the center. How dangerous is this player when he is in flow? Unbelievable stuff from Wenchong. As you could see, the 5 does pass into the top. Absolutely smashed that in. Look at this. Now hasn't left himself perfect on the 6-ball. Has to screw off 1 cushion. Leave himself a medium distance 2 to the top left corner. Yeah, good time to take the extension. It's a tough angle. Might choose to go off 2 cushions instead. Playing low on the cue ball. Low outside English. He's left himself on the 2, but look at where the cue ball is. Very close to the right side cushion. A shot like this, you'd prefer to actually run it through rather than be jacked up. It does have the angle on it. Yeah, taking his medicine, leaving a long black ball to the bottom right corner pocket. It's there, 14th point, third consecutive break and run, 5th break and run for the match for Wenchong.
欧尚地毯突破核心科技，从智能车间到高品质球房，重新定义标准，为每一个台球梦想铺好第一步。铺好毯，打好球，不掉毛，零干扰。
职业选手的第一选择，欧尚地毯掉毛地毯终结者。
So Wenchong currently on 5 break and runs, 3 break and runs in a row. He's currently on a 3-pack. Zhijiang has been sat in his chair for the last 3 frames. And the score being 7-9 at the previous break, the 16-frame player break. Score now 14-7. So far in this little mini session of 8 frames, Wenchong has won 5 of those 8 frames thus far.
第22局，何文冲开球。
And this time, no ball in on the break, so dry break stops his streak at 3 consecutive break and runs. Now off that dry break, Zhijiang to the table, first time in 3 frames. Yeah, he has to put something together here. I mean, so far, so many unforced errors from Zhijiang. Trailing by 7 frames, but it's only 3 of those frames that were consecutive break and runs. The rest of them, he's had chances. Taking his extension now. Players get 1 extension of 30 seconds per frame, 45 seconds per shot, and I can tell you 45 seconds is not a lot. It goes so quick. If you just walk around the table once, you'll hear the referee call 10 seconds. And then start counting down from 5. Now look at that. You can put that ball there 100 times and he won't miss that ball. In practice, but it's just not going his way, and he did struggle in yesterday morning's match as well against Kong Dejing. Oh, he's lost the cue ball. He has lost the cue ball. That's a poor shot from Wenchong. Totally lost the cue ball. Very lucky to not be in off. And this is a golden opportunity for him to close the door in this match. Oh, what a piece of luck that is. What a piece of good fortune that is. Raises his hand. That ball was never going in. Have a look at this little touch off the 4. There. And jump cue out, so a little bit sloppy from her Wenchong at the moment. Half expected that to go into the opposite center pocket as well. So 4 stripes left, Zhijiang at the table, and I think Wenchong took that opportunity too lightly. At 15-7, he'd really be closing the door on Zhijiang. He's opened the door, he's given Zhijiang a chance to get his 8th point on the board. Needs to pass the black ball. Just does so. He's taken these last 4 stripes, well as Zhijiang. Now this black ball for his 8th point to close the gap to 6 frames. He gets it, puts his 8th point on the board, still trails 14 frames to 8 after 22 frames played here in this race to 17 semi-final match of the Zhijiang station in China.
23局牛撞开球。
Winners break format, Zhijiang to break, currently 14-8 down, trailing by 6 frames to Wenchong. That looks dry. And as you can see, except for those 3 break-in runs for Wenchong, both players have been struggling with the break. Don't know if it's the brand new cloth on this table. It looks like Wenchong did adapt a bit. He saw that the break wasn't working. Looks like he put a little bit less pop into that break and he started making the ball into the center. Now, pop is when you see the cue ball actually hop after making contact with the first ball. And I can tell you that's not done by mistake. It's actually controlled by the player at the table. I think this is another great chance for Wenchong to get his 15th point. The previous frame, I have to say, it was a chance. He took that chance too lightly. Plays the 5 to dislodge the 3. Yeah, and look at the pace. Look at the pace. What I have noticed about him is he thinks about 3 or 4 moves ahead in a frame, and that's why he's always able to get the perfect angle to maneuver another ball out of a block situation, or when he needs to get a ball off the rail or out of trouble. Oh, he almost missed that one. It was tough with the cue ball being on the cushion. Almost pulled a fast one. Now the 2 ball, it doesn't look like it passes the 15. We'd only know if we were right behind that bottom left corner pocket. Yeah, so he wants to stop on the 13, play the 2 across to the bottom right. Let's see how well he can judge this. Yeah, almost perfect. I would say perfect if the cue ball wasn't that close to the cushion, but almost perfect. As you can see, 2 ball goes. It does help that it's not straight, but jacking up on the cue ball, no problem at all. As Wenchong puts his 15th point on the board, leading 15 frames to 8, and that is his 5th rack and run. So 15 points, 5 break and runs, 5 rack and runs for Wenchong. And that concludes the 23rd frame of this match, of this race to 17. So after the next frame, we will have the 24 frame player break. And it's amazing what Wenchong has done in this session from the previous player break. At 16 frames, he was up 9-7 with a gap of 2 frames. And of the 7 frames played from that last break, he's won 6 of them. And in these long races, that's what you have to look at. You have to break the match up into mini sessions. It does help that you have a break at every 8 frames, so that's a good way to judge yourself, especially if you are down in a match. You can look at the match like that as split up into little mini sessions of 8 frames, 5 ball into the center. Look at the cue ball. He's got the break. Yeah, I mean, you have to go solids. Have to go solids, and this could be a quick one. He's taken his extension, and I think that's the only time he'll need to decide anything was with the first ball. Other than that, he should be good to go. And this is what we saw the other day as well against Zhao Ruliang. His pattern play, always finishing up on one half of the table. And that is not a great shot. He's a bit too close to the 7, also low on the 7. He didn't want to be straight or high, but this is a little bit too low, so he's going to have to control the cue ball nicely. He's missed it. Oh, what has he done? What an opportunity to get another break and run and to get onto the hill. Oh, what a shot that is. Niu Zhang leaving him safe, but what a shot he's pulled out there. So Niu Zhang puts the cue down. How do you play against a player like this? And now has to pot the 1, but look at the cue ball. This cue ball is going to be doing a lot of mileage. He didn't get the pot. It's going to come back and sit close to the ball cushion, and as we see that 3 go into the corner again, and it looks like he's ready to give up this frame. At the moment is her Wenchong. Worst case scenario, he's won that mini session of 8 frames, 6 frames to 2. Goes into the break 15-9. 6 frames the difference, 2 away from the finish line. Yeah, but I think he can't afford to do that. He has to just keep putting on the pressure, using the jaw. Oh my word, if that went in, I don't know what I would do if I was Niu Zhang. Probably pack up my cue. Have a look at this. So we all know you can use the jaw on the snooker type pockets, but look at how well he's played that. Almost perfect. you can also see the cue ball control is not yet perfect from Zhijiang, as we have seen in the past. He's leaving himself slightly long, slightly awkward on a few pots. Means that he has to work much harder. That's a good recovery. And nicely on the 10. The 10 will free the 9. Yeah, he's playing slightly tentative, is he? Not that certain, not that sure. Zhijiang that we are used to. Black ball for the center pocket. And this black ball for his 9th point in this race to 17. It's there, and at the break he trails 15 frames to 9.
官方暂停10分钟，10分钟未到，判负一局。
乔氏金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。
好球杆，最难的不是木料、设计和工艺，而是对运动的理解。 对力学的研究和对运动者经验大数据的采集与处理 ，LP 以一颗匠心，超过30年的经验累积，全世界数百万使用者的反馈数据，懂球，懂力，更懂你。
俺老孙啥功名不要。 只求回到这花果山中了，过过逍遥日子。
天要球杆，化一切为可能。欧尚地毯，突破核心科技。 从智能车间到高品质球房，重新定义标准，为每一个台球梦想铺好第一步。铺好毯，打好球，不掉毛，零干扰。
职业选手的第一选择，欧尚地毯掉毛地毯终结者。
超级蓝钻皮头职业版，采用进口头层水牛皮，韧性好，弹性持久，颗颗精选，粒粒碾压，严格质检，世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，祝您夺冠！
罂粟胶边具有国内胶边很难做到的特点，罂粟胶边的硬度达到了45度，使反射角高度接近入射角。罂粟整条胶边误差小于20丝，因而各部位酷性一致。欢迎各品牌厂家使用罂粟胶边来提升台球桌的专业性能。好胶边罂粟皂，好胶边罂粟皂。
超级蓝钻皮头，黄金版、白金版，采用进口头层水牛皮，颗颗精选，严格质检，韧性好，弹性持久，世界职业球员必用的皮头。超级蓝钻，一专业，缔造不凡。
方寸间雕刻，毫厘间相见。成木质之美，雕琢洞天，遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心，以点线面，以小现大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。
今天给大家推荐一款非常好的台泥 H153，这我自己用了1年多的台泥，汗毛量80%，手感特别细腻，走位很平稳。根据我自己用了1年多的这个台泥，这个 H153特别适合我们球房用，一些中小型比赛也特别适合它用。如果你的球房想用一款非常好的台泥，我推荐 H153。
H153走球更到位。
一线赛事指定台泥：丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等不例外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台泥领导品牌。
暂停结束，比赛继续。第25局，牛壮开球。
And we are back after the player break at 24 frames played. Score 15-9 in favor of Wenchong over Grandmasters Finals winner Zhijiang. No, I don't think a ball's going to fall on that one. He's not hit that good. Yeah, look at the 5 and the 2. Nowhere near that center pocket. So in the previous mini session of 8 frames, Wenchong winning 6 out of those 8 frames, so winning that little session 6-2. Score was 9-7 at the previous break. So 5-3, 9-7, and now 15-9. He's just 2 away from his spot in the final of this Joy Masters Division 1 Tour, Zhijiang station here in China. Yeah, currently on stripes. Now straight away you'll be thinking, needs to release the 13. And there the cue ball tracks straight to it. 13 out into open play. Although shots like that, you are never certain where the cue ball is going to be going, depending on how you cannon that ball. In this case, full in the face gets the cue ball to stop almost. He's played that well. He's played that really well. I think he should still be on the 11. If not, he's on the 13 as well. Got a few options now, does Wenchong. And as soon as you saw the layout of stripes, you'd be thinking, okay, the 13's a problem. Even if I get that cue ball on the rail, 12 would still be a tough pot. But once again, see how he's cleared up one part of the table, just left the top right table as a segment to clear up before he gets to the black ball. I think that's why his finishing rate is also that high. He's currently on 10 clearances out of 15 points. This black ball for another rack and run for Wenchong as he takes his 16 point on the hill in this semi-final against Zhijiang. 6 rack and runs, 5 break and runs for Wenchong, and he will be breaking for the match now at 16-9. And the match against Zhao Ruliang in that race to 15, where he defeated him 15-6, I believe. He had 10 break and runs, 3 rack and runs. One of the highest break and run, rack and run statistics we've seen, and also 6 break and runs in a row. So not only can he get the break right, his finishing ability is, from what I've seen, it's up there with the best, really is. And just 24 years of age, Wenchong. And there's always new talent and new players coming through here in China. Every Joy tournament we see different names. Well, we see the same names, but we see a few new names in the latter stages. The Baotou station about 2 months ago, we had Sun Yan, who made it through the losers bracket into the final against Chu Bingjie. He also caught a lot of fans, that Sun Yan. And this time it's Wenchong defeating Zhao Ruliang and Chu Bingjie to get into the semi-final of this tournament. And at the moment, looking favorite to be in the final later tonight. That final is at 7 p.m. We will be live on WPA Live TV, our Joy Facebook and YouTube stream as well. I'm your commentator for the Joy Heyball events, Raymond Talak from South Africa, and I'll be bringing you all the live action from the rest of this tournament and the Super Tour starting tomorrow. And at the same time, we have the Champion of Champions from Brisbane, Australia, starting tomorrow as well, 18th to the 21st. That'll be live on all our streams as well. The T8 Q8 Joy tables being set up in Brisbane, Australia at the exhibition center, and those tables will be for sale after the event as well. The referee making sure that those first 3 balls are as tight as they can be.
第26局，何文冲开球。
The score currently 16-9, race to 17. Wenchong breaking from on the hill. And I don't see a ball in. Yeah, dry break. So Zhijiang back to the table. Now he's in a situation as well. 7 frames down. Opponent on the hill. You can't afford a single mistake. Can't afford a dry break. Can't afford a miss pot.
10秒。
Even a bad positional shot.
延时。 10秒。5。
Look, he's done very well to find a pot out of that, and cannon on the 15 is a bonus. That's if the 15 didn't go all the way across, it's good. So got the 15 and the 13 off the cushion. Thing is, he hasn't looked that comfortable in this match. Even that sneaking in off the inside jaw. I mean, we've seen him when he has been in form in that Grandmasters earlier this year, the Grandmasters finals. He's the player who put Foreman Kyo into the loser's bracket and then had to go through Zhang Tai. And that's a mistake. That is a mistake that he couldn't afford. He's going to have to get the jump cue. Look, I expect him to make contact with the stripe. Whether he pots it is an entirely different story. But I do expect a legal shot. The aim looks good. Now, that mistake from Zhijiang, the positional mistake. Excellent jump shot. I mean, he's almost potted the 12, but was that his last shot of this tournament? Now he's played to nudge the 2 and 4 free, but I don't think they set up for a combination. Still looks like it's heading towards the inside jaw. Zhijiang is 31 years of age, and his opponent, Wenchong, is just 24 years of age. Now let's have a look at the angle he has on the 5. So 5 to the center. And how does he get to the 4-2? That's how. That is how. Doesn't go though, so he's gonna have to park the cue ball. And I think that is a match-winning shot from Wenchong. Legal shot, he's made contact with his stripe, but look at what he's left. He's left Wenchong perfectly on the 3 ball. And this black ball to get himself in the final of the Division 1 Tour, Zhijiang Station, here at the Joy Masters event, and it's their 17-9 over Zhijiang. What a victory for Wenchong, and I called it. One of these players were going to be in the final. This match was like a final, except Zhijiang not able to take all his chances. We didn't see the best of him today, but I think now this young man becomes the favorite to win this tournament. Wenchong into the final, as we'll see him in action later today against either his opponent will be Zhao Jianbo or Li Yan, currently playing at the moment. So we will be back at 7 p.m. tonight for that final. Stay with us at that time, and we will be live on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Raymond Tilak from South Africa, your commentator for these Joy Heyball events. Take care, guys. We'll see you later.